Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to talk about tampons today.
No, we won't.
I know all about it. We're going to talk about panty shields.
The good news.
The bad news.
And the other shit.
You guys, check it out. First of all, I can't go in the order to which the news we're used to getting it because...
Why? Because we're here and it's...
I decided I couldn't do good news, bad news, and then other shit. I think we just have to just go in the order to which it comes. Okay? So, because I have bad news first.
Oh!
Okay,
what is up with that?
Wait a minute. It ain't that bad. Damn. Rain and wind. You guys, we're finally getting some storms here on the West Coast. Everybody.
Right?
That's not what we wanted.
Well, because everybody else across the country, has had major storms. Just started really over the weekend. So Mac and up there, Washington, Oregon, are really getting the worst of it.
Thank you, Mac.
Mac, I don't know how you're doing up there, Mac. I hope you're
with us, even though you're in the storm.
Yeah, they said they've got people who lost some power up there. They got some flood warnings. Wet, windy storm.
Oh, I wish I was there.
So we want to acknowledge that.
You don't have to be. You're about to have it right here.
All right, so. In terms of national events, terrible things going on in Gaza right now. Warring back and forth, rockets going from one side. Israelis are pounding them also. Once again, the same old stuff. Turkey's actually come out with a proposal this morning against the Israeli government. Talking about what they're doing as being terrorist type actions with the way their treatment of Gaza. That's what's going on in terms of world conflicts, and a lot of bad news in terms of that. And again, people are dying. Supposedly the Israelis have mobilized over 70,000 troops, perhaps for an invasion.
Oh, no.
Once you have an invasion, the invasion is one thing, as we know from being in Iraq, and the occupation is another, right?
Yeah.
Because when you occupy, the whole guerrilla warfare concept is, the death of 1,000 cuts. Have you heard of the death of 1,000 cuts?
That sounds bad. I don't know.
They say that you can kill the most powerful creature if you give him a little cut once a day for 1,000 days.
That's very painful. You know what? War to me is like the most immature act of a human being that he can become.
Well, it's definitely low vibration.
I mean, that's what we did as children. We threw rocks at each other. You took their toys, and then you learned to see that that's not right. Or I guess you didn't learn to see that that wasn't right.
Well, the problem I really have with it, if you really look at it historically, it has to do with the powerful rich people convincing the working people to go out and fight and die for them.
Yeah. And why they stand
and to make that an honor.
And
in their kingdom.
Yeah,
right.
make it an honor.
They sell that to you.
But at least back in the old days, the king, or not the king, but the king, the ruler, he was the one in front of the army marching.
That's in the
not
movies.
In the back.
That's actually the movie. Yeah, he was back at the castle.
He
was getting into that good old come some winches. They had some come some winches back then. So he was back at the castle hanging out with them.
That's all that
Have you seen those winches?
Shut up!
What winches?
They're cumsome.
Thing I'm saying here, and
I'm saying, but they didn't know that's the myth. They were in the back. They're in the back. Whoever's in the front, those are the people who the collab. They tell you it's an honor. It's an honor for you to be in the front, Jezreel. Let me just stand behind you real close, and you make it a little moist between the cheeks.
I would have told, if I was working with Bush, I'd say, Bush, you got to stand in the front of this war, okay?
All that's going to be
believe in it so
happening
much.
For the next 2 years. Pluto and Capricorn and Uranus are working together.
Whose anus? My anus ain't got shit to do with
I
this.
always say Uranus. They want to make it
right
like
now,
it's
it's inflamed.
They want to make it like it's Uranus. But according to, grammar, it's Uranus. But okay, Uranus.
I like when you say it. So what was it again?
Oh, PMC said they make money off the war. You're right.
That's right.
Absolutely right. That is right.
We're going to deal with a little bit more in the war tomorrow.
I don't want to talk anymore about war.
That's what I said. We're going to deal with it because I know what y'all will talk about. Y'all will talk about the Twinkies. That's right, y'all. I know you heard Hostess, the famous
should be hung
Hostess.
by their toes.
Well, I'm just saying Hostess was actually going to have to reorganize and had been threatened with a strike from the employees. So they decided they were going to sell the company and liquidate. Now, let me just tell you one thing. I guarantee you the owner's making monies, okay, and the workers somehow get screwed. It always will work out that way. 18,000 people supposedly let go. Now, I did a little looky-loo. Do you know that the company still does $2.5 billion in business a year?
Wow.
And Twinkies alone brought in $68 million this year alone.
I went into a store yesterday, and you noticed that all the Hostess products were gone. I mean, you wouldn't even realize that that's something. I wasn't looking for Hostess products. You just realized they were all gone. And I asked the guy. He said, yeah, we sold out.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because it's poison to the bodies, boys and girls.
All of it's poison? You Hostess, all of it?
I don't know about all their products. The ones they had when I was around.
It's all the same.
Twinkies. Oh, my God. Do not.
Ho-Hos? How about Ho-Hos?
I don't know about
Ho-Hos. It's all the same.
Ho-Hos? You against Ho-Hos?
There was a white kind of cake thing that had cream on it, and then there was the Twinkies that were brown with chocolate. They're awful.
No, that's not Twinkie.
What is that?
Well, it's all in the news about the Ho-Hos.
A Twinkie's a brown thing, right?
With a chocolate?
It had like some sort of...
Twinkie, you don't know what a Twinkie... You don't know a damn Twinkie.
No, it has cream in the middle, and it's like a golden
How dare
cake.
you?
Oh, it's golden.
Okay.
Well, what's the brown swirly thing?
Hostess cupcake.
That's a ho-ho.
Hostess cupcake?
Hostess cupcake.
Yes.
I'm going to show you some videos without the sound.
Somebody's going to buy
ding dongs.
Somebody's going to buy the
Ding
company.
dongs, it was
I know
ding
you've
dongs.
seen them. You did date.
Thank you, BMC.
Well, you guys are proud.
Well, the whole thing, you guys, is that it turns out the judge who's looking over the finances has now said that he's going to mediate this and try to hold on to the company and the jobs. I was trying to get you guys some pictures to show you the Hostess piece.
Oh, I want to see them.
But we don't know these people here. This is
That's
Forbes.
Abram Brown.
We don't.
Oh, look, somebody knows him.
Huh?
She just said who it was.
I was just reading his subtitle.
Oh.
You want to hear what he has to say?
No.
Let's see what he has to say.
She said no.
Man. Unbelievable.
I thought you wanted the truth.
Well, I don't get no sound anyway.
Yeah, maybe on them.
They say Hostess is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, the vote?
Hostess calling.
Oh, I like that. Like I said, answer the phone just to put them on blast. Get the first one and the last
snack
one.
cakes by the bagload.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Here we go. Here's a story about Hostess.
That is really sad.
That Hostess!
At a Hostess bakery outlet in Dallas, people hoarded snack cakes by the bagload.
Oh, yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. Whoever didn't eat a Twinkie wasn't an American.
Robert Ware
And a
carried
hot dog.
Twinkies and snowballs.
Like I said, nobody makes these, but
I used to love the snowball.
The pink
nobody
ones.
makes these.
Oh,
but
I
these guys.
remember that.
And Hostess cupcake.
Oh, there it is.
Others
Hostess
thought they might be
cupcake.
biting
Okay.
into American
No, that's not
baked
what I'm
good
talking about.
history
They're
for
There's
a
a
long
Twinkie.
time.
You
No.
can't say goodbye to these.
If you don't know a Twinkie, fake like you do.
That is what's happening at
No,
33
this is
Hostess
brown
brands
and
factories
swirl.
across
Well,
the
this is
country.
Twinkie.
They're
You're
shutting
not
down and
about
laying off
Ho-Hos.
almost
You guys not letting them
90,000
say
workers.
anything. Nobody can.
Meaning no more Twinkies, Ho-Hos, Ding Dongs, Hostess cupcakes,
He wants us
and
to
that
be
creamy
quiet.
filling.
Unfortunately, yes.
You're
It
playing
started
something.
as a
I really hear you guys tell the
reorganization
story.
and today moved to a liquidation because we simply could not.
I bet you're going to be
workers
rich. I bet you're going home to some
picket
good
lines
thick
to return to
sheets.
work and restore
Some lobster,
normal
champagne,
operations.
go and get a little
Irving,
drink.
Texas-based company says a prolonged union labor contract dispute
He'll be comfortable.
bankruptcy forced its
Ride
hand.
home in the Benz.
So the company is going to sell itself off bit by bit. Picketing workers in Kansas don't buy that argument. Their unions say executives mismanaged the baked goods giant.
We're standing up here fighting for our pension, and we're fighting for everybody who has a pension.
I hope and pray that they can go somewhere and get another job.
But there's always a chance that the snacks
Remember,
may
they
have
would
a
lose
shelf
that
life
pension.
lifeline.
Right, that's
This time
the
next
sad part
year,
about
you'll
it.
be able to go in and most likely be able to buy your Twinkies and your, other Hostess products.
The brand name alone and rectangular, calorie-laden, cream-filled golden cake is blazed into American memories.
So the value of the company with no debt, with all of its debt wiped clean, which is basically what we're talking about when we're talking about, coming out of bankruptcy court, probably could be in the $1 billion range.
So the mascot
Isn't that a
Twinkie
lot?
the Kid may not be riding off into that golden spongy
I bet
sunset
somehow they don't
quite
fund
so
that
soon.
pension
John
and they
Moan,
get their money.
Associated Press.
That's what I
Dallas.
bet you. That's what usually happens. They end up screwing you.
Right. We know that's happening already.
Now, how about this one, you guys? Have you guys been following the CIA scandal? We talked about it last
Oh
week.
my God, CIA's doing something again.
No, this is Paula Broadwell. This was the general who had the affair with the woman. Yeah. And then told her too much. Remember, I told you the issue was that she had classified information. Yeah. Well, it turns out that she says she deeply regrets the damage that's been done.
Yeah, they probably had a
so
gun
that's
to her
not
head
the
or
woman
something
who had
like
the
that.
affair
This is the woman who had the affair with General Petraeus.
Oh, okay.
Who then was sending threatening emails to another socialite because she thought she was a threat to the relationship.
She was doing
the other
some
socialite, who
girly
was
stuff.
a privileged woman, went to the FBI because she knows people in the FBI. They even called the police and told the FBI, "You should do something about this." All of that led to the FBI actually looking at her request, because that's the kind of clout she has. Right. And going, oh, this is getting a little dirty, because she's also showing up on the other tabs with the general, and there's a bunch of security things. Right. And so this whole thing ended up being a whole scandal with two generals now.
I have a question.
Taking a general down. Okay.
Was he actually sleeping with both of them?
No. Well, no. Well, I don't know.
He was having an affair with the one, but the one thought that it was a possibility.
I know she thought it. Right. I started to say no, but I don't know.
He's actually married to somebody else and having an affair this one, and then she's going to be jealous of another woman?
And she's married too, DeVoe.
This is crazy. Come on now. You're doing the swinger thing. Okay, you're married, he's married. So what if he's got other women? You are the other woman.
David Petraeus has resigned as the director of the CIA, citing poor judgment as one of the reasons he was no longer fit for the position. The retired four-star general who led the U.S. Armed Forces in Iraq and Afghanistan confessed to an extramarital affair. Well, for more on this, we can cross live now to Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, a former military intelligence officer. Well, thank you for joining us here
about
on
what he
RT.
did with his pecker.
Washington is losing one of the stars of the U.S. military over an affair. Doesn't this remind us of the old excuse of, well, trying to spend more time with the family or something? Is there more behind this resignation than meets the eye?
Oh, I think there's much more. Former Senator Trent Lott once told me one of the lessons of Washington is whatever they're talking about publicly, the issue is something else entirely, and I think that's what's here. Let's be very blunt here. General Eisenhower, the commander of our forces in World War II, who led the D-Day invasion in 1944, had an affair with his driver, and FDR, President Roosevelt, knew about it, but they didn't relieve it. So there's something else deeper here, something else that I don't think anybody fully understands yet. And plus, the other thing, let's be clear that this General Petraeus, went through vetting investigations over and over again, both to become a four-star general and to become the director of CIA. So somehow during that entire time, I cannot fathom the investigation not coming up with this, and more importantly, the White House not knowing about it. So it's either we completely lost this, we completely missed it, or the White House is known for quite some time and they've just waited for the right time to force the general to resign.
Well, the general has long been known for his focus on winning the hearts and minds. Do you think this particular approach was working at the CIA?
He had his critics over at CIA. A lot of folks have problems at CIA. I'm a trained case officer, trained by CIA. I'm not CIA. But I know a lot of friends over there, and yeah, they have a very unique structure, a very unique culture. And anytime an outsider comes in, such as Petraeus and others as well, there's a great deal of resistance because obviously he's not an insider, he's not a trained intelligence officer. So his technique...
Well, remember that, because that's part of this whole controversy, right? He's not an insider, not necessarily being handled that way. We know no one cares about generals getting laid, right?
Nobody. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So it has to certainly be more than that, even though the whole idea was that she was given privileges, access to, you know what happens? You laying up in bed, she says, tell me about Saddam. Oh, baby. Oh, it just gets me wet when you talk that military shit.
See, that's not a smart woman.
I'm just saying.
I never thought that he could go there.
That's why she had the stuff. This is a woman he's sleeping with, right? And she ends up, and she's also writing his bio. So she ends up having a bunch of materials on her stuff, computers and everything else, that she's not supposed to have. Now, you know what happens after you make love. You start talking.
You do start
Especially
talking.
after some good old love making. I usually want to eat, but see, some of y'all want to talk. I want a sandwich or something. Get a hot dog, some ice cream.
Wouldn't get much information from Mario, okay?
But y'all want to talk, and that's when you start talking. She said, "Tell me about Saddam."
I said, no.
Ooh, baby, I was riding in on my shooting. Ooh.
That's somebody who wants power.
Well, I'm just saying that if you sleeping with a general, it ain't because you like weak men.
Yeah, but
then there's that. But
you like that general sex.
She's not smart.
10 hut.
Well,
Yeah, I like general sex too, but that I know what questions to ask and what not to ask.
I mean, you know what exactly. I mean, come on now.
What? Did I
You
just say something?
You can't make me
I missed that
come
one.
enough to start spilling out where the gold is if I'm not supposed to tell it. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Well, you ain't supposed to tell him nothing. What if you just tell him a little bit about Saddam or the president or something?
Whatever he said,
talking about.
he lost
you can't
his.
find anything else to talk about.
Yeah, he needs to be fired. He can't control his sexual appetite.
For that reason, he needs to be. No, not that he can't control
Not sexual
his
appetite,
but he can't
but
control
his
his
conduct
mouth after
during
having
sex, right.
He needs to be fired just for being
Just
that
for
dumb.
that. Yeah.
That's what we said, even though we all succumb to that cat.
No, we don't.
No.
Well, not y'all. You go to the other thing.
But men
some
are a
of
little
us,
stupid.
Well, you know, it's crazy. Lack of sex makes you crazy. All right, you guys. San Francisco is moving to ban. Take a look at this.
wait. PMC.
San Francisco is moving to ban public nudity. I know you may not have realized this, but Northern California and San Francisco's had a long-standing public acceptance of nudity.
Anywhere?
And it's actually under attack. That's right. Today, lawmakers in San Francisco are expected to vote on a measure that, if passed, will pose a problem.
Come out to see nude people.
That's right. They have a new measure that's going to make it illegal.
Oh, yeah, you don't see any women.
Anyone over the age of 5, it'll be illegal to, and I quote, expose his or her genitals, perineum, or anal region on any public street, sidewalk, street meridian, parklet, or plaza, or while using public transit.
We're just not ready yet, guys.
So this is what they do. They have an annual nude bike ride.
Wait a minute. Please, Devoe, read
San Francisco allows...
Please read the quote.
Where's Norman?
Where's Norman?
Dang.
I'm trying to tell you, aren't y'all concerned about San Francisco?
Cisco, no.
We got to keep it nude.
That seems like a safety issue.
What's safe about it?
Well, a
trying to protect your nuts.
Safety. Look at him riding around on a bike. That is nasty.
What's
Those
nasty?
are women.
You just have to powder that seat.
No. You have open parts, secretions, all that.
Well, what do you mean? Some people don't have secretions.
No,
if they're healthy,
have you been checked?
If they're healthy,
you might need to get a checkup.
You can't tell me, doctor, about a woman. If they're healthy, they
I'm just
have
saying,
secretions.
most do, but usually they getting all over the bicycle seat. Unless they looking at somebody.
Disgusting.
What?
Look at that.
Put a towel on the seat.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. Do that.
Get a rash. Get you a fur seat. And then your cat will love the bike.
Oh, Mario.
What? What do you mean? What's y'all?
Butt smelling.
Okay, see.
Well, every seat smell like a butt.
Well, at least it's their seat.
No, it doesn't.
If you had on some shorts.
No, but then you have that seat
y'all be putting skid marks all in the underwear.
Tell me that's not a health concern.
So the whole issue is San Francisco changing their long-standing policy of accepting public nudity. What do we want to say about that?
Now, does that just
Are we in favor? I want Mac to be able to go to San Francisco and go nude.
Listen,
is it just all over the city?
They're
everywhere.
Areas.
They're getting bicycle smiles. PMC said.
Everybody.
I could be sitting at a Starbucks and somebody could walk by me naked.
That's why I want to go up there.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I have something to say.
What?
The fact that the people with clothes on stop and stare and gawk makes it a problem.
They're more uncomfortable than the people who are nude.
Yes. Well, because that's the same thing with nudity beach. They usually put it in a private area because the people who don't dare take their clothes off, they want to stop and do a looky-loo, which is really the problem, I think. I don't think
But the
being
people
naked
approved it already.
is the problem.
No.
I think the people who don't want to take their clothes off is the problem.
Exactly.
But remember now,
Because look at these.
you guys, remember, they've been accepting this all these years. It's not new to them. They for years and years have had a public policy of allowing nudity. It wasn't
But
that.
has it been causing a problem with
I don't know.
pedestrians, has it been causing accidents? I want to know that.
Well, it depends.
That's what I want to know.
Because the good people never go nude. Like,
peace,
I can't get
then
Jessie
let
to go
these
down there and
people
flash her
please be
shit.
naked. If it doesn't disturb
Why can't we get the vote to go down there?
I might want to move to San Francisco,
I
but
wanna
that
see some butt.
doesn't mean that I have to put up with people being naked in front of me if I don't want to see naked butt in front of me.
I may have to say that everybody on this video has a toned body. I've been to a naked beach before where they're very
tone.
Yeah,
I could care less.
Okay,
It's
and
just
it
the
looks
whole
crazy.
Well, check it out.
Okay.
to this.
So,
Okay.
you know, but I particularly, to me, I don't care whether someone's naked or not. I don't have to look at them. You know what I mean?
If it's a whole
Yeah.
screwn of them like that, I said screwn.
Well, it's
Of them
not like that.
that.
They're protesting or something. This is something they're trying to prove a point. But if it's
This is
one
that.
guy
No.
riding
This
a
is
bike
the
down the
annual
street
nude
that's
bike
naked,
ride.
I don't care.
It's an annual nude bike ride.
If a naked guy is standing at the bus stop,
Fisherman's
I don't
Wharf.
care.
Devolve.
All right.
I'm serious. I don't care if you're
All right.
naked.
You feel strongly.
I may not sit in your seat after you get up.
Well, you may not let you on my damn seat. No way.
I'm not talking about
Why y'all think I'm gonna let you put your cooch on my seat?
I was talking about a bus
concern.
Oh, they not on the bus.
I don't want to walk by somebody's seat and smell their butt.
Well, hopefully they wash their ass and you're not smelling it. Some people's butt you smell through the clothes.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, but I want you guys to know that this proposal that would end public nudity was introduced by Supervisor Scott Wiener.
Are you telling the truth?
I ain't lying.
I thought Scott Wiener was like in Massachusetts.
They got a bunch of them, obviously. They can probably have a Wiener clan. All the Wieners get together, and then the Dicks, too. So there's the Wieners and the Dicks, and then the Scrotum family.
You know what? I'm going to invite you guys to Happy Acres because you guys really
Yeah, they really big.
But
Damn, y'all
are
are...
you going to take it off already? Because I was going to say, did you see how the creases of the butt, some of them are...
I'm not looking at clothes.
I was.
You know what? I've seen. You guys are on the border of that's your children. Get them off the bicycle. You guys are really adamant.
No, I'm thinking about walking down the street.
Ladies and gentlemen,
all right,
watch your crack. Public nudity. Someone might come up and powder your butt. Put a towel on your seat. DeVoe and Lady Tech are on their way up north. End this shit. They're gonna shut this down.
I say do it.
Shut them down.
Oh my goodness.
Shut them down.